not just one guy. That's what she's saying. But it's not just one guy. There was somebody else in the picture.
So, Mom, you're saying she was sleeping with multiple guys?
I know that there was someone else. Now, how many more it was, I'm not for sure. But I do know that there was someone else.
AKA she trifling, and that's what trifling females.
At that point, I feel like if this is your husband and this is so you say y'all working on your family, you trying to get it together, why is your husband in the room and not at home with you and your kids?
He wasn't around. He was supposedly sleeping with Danita.
Miss Hooker, I have to ask you, was there another guy?
No, because that's why it's funny, because how can somebody tell me who I was sleeping with?
In an absolutely bonkers twist you'd swear was made up, we dive headfirst into the saga of Co vs. Co, where the grandmother is throwing some serious shade on her grandson's DNA because of her daughter's, let's call it, free-spirited love life. And as if that's not spicy enough, she's also campaigning for her daughter to win a free pass to parenting boot camp. Buckle up, folks. This roller coaster is just leaving the station.
Today we have the case of Co v. Co, mother versus daughter. Miss Co, you say you're here today because your daughter is an out-of-control teenager and she needs help. Furthermore, you claim that you have serious doubts that your daughter's boyfriend, Mr. Boyce, is the father of your 7-month-old grandson. You say Mr. Boyce has been a good father to the baby, but that your daughter has numerous sexual partners.
Now, just when you thought we'd hit peak drama, the mom lays out her daughter's rap sheet of teenage rebellion. We're talking brawls in the schoolyard and a scuffle with a cop. Yep, it seems respect for authority is on back order for this one. But wait, there's more?
Fights at school, hitting a police officer, not once, but twice. She
Hitting a
punched him.
police officer.
She punched her twice. I get the phone call to go up to the school. I get there. I was thankful that I knew this police officer. He looks at me and he says, "This is your daughter?" He says, "I could take her to jail right now. She could have a felony."
You think you've seen it all? Oh, please. We're about to dive into a saga of home-wrecking proportions, with our leading lady turning their humble abode into a demolition derby. Windows shattered, mom's car redecorated with the rebel without a cause look. And just when you think that's gotta be it, there's another twist waiting.
Made a phone call saying I and my girlfriend had jumped on her because she still did not want to follow house rules. All I asked her to do was not disrespect the house. Don't bring the drama to the house. You brought drama to the house.
That's not
You
the
made a
truth.
phone call saying, my mother and her girlfriend just jumped on me. Y'all, you come mess them up.
I said her girlfriend just jumped on me, and I did have
But that
somebody
wasn't
come
true.
over there.
The plot thickens like grandma's gravy at Thanksgiving as we unearth the roots of this family feud. Picture this, a childhood spent with dad because mom was off playing the role of the mysterious absent character, which has left more than just a bit of bitterness and betrayal in the air. The drama, it's not just simmering, it's boiling over.
Children grow up with their mother, they're not their father. I grew up with my father because due to the fact she abandoned me when I was 2 years old.
I did not abandon you.
I was told she dropped me off when I was 2 years old and never came back. And the reason I believed it is because I haven't seen her until I got in my teen age.
You didn't have so much as a visitation?
Oh yes, I had visitation rights. She came over on. I never
And
missed
so
a beat.
did you ever have a positive relationship?
No, not really.
Then, out of left field, we swivel the spotlight to the kiddo's daddy drama. In a heartfelt confession, both mom and daughter spill the beans on the daughter's eclectic taste in men, leaving us with a cliffhanger lineup of potential papas. But just when you're trying to keep up, they hit you with a plot twist you never saw coming.
But it's not just one guy. That's what she's saying. But it's not just one guy. There was somebody else in the picture.
So, Mom, you're saying she was sleeping with multiple guys?
I know that there was someone else. Now, how many more it was, I'm not for sure. But I do know that there was someone else. When I find out she's pregnant, I go to the guy. I go to Larry. I say to Larry, look, as Zair's mother, I'm gonna keep it real with you.
As the emotional stakes skyrocket, enter Mr. Boyce, the boyfriend on the verge of a nervous breakdown, clinging to hope like a soap opera star to a script. He waxes poetic about fatherhood and personal growth amidst a sea of daddy doubts. And just when your heart's about to burst, the story takes a leap into the unknown.
Mr. Boyce, please come and step to the podium. We know that today we're here to determine the paternity of this particular child, but we also know that this child is very important to you. Am I correct?
Yes. From the beginning, I knew it was a possibility, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, he made me grow more, you know what I'm saying, since he's been around.
Brace for impact, because we're reaching a crescendo that'll knock your socks off. The paternity reveal party has a bouncer.
When it comes to baby Christian, Mr. Boyce, you are not the father.
You're his father.
Yeah, I am.
Yes, you are.
I'm still.
You okay? I know this was not the way probably any of you wanted this to turn out.
All right, strap in for a wild ride, folks. Can you believe the tension here? Introduction and stakes. In the left corner, we have Ms. Lohman, ready to rumble in court to prove her fiancé, Mr. Mitchell, is indeed the biological father of her superstar daughter, London. The plot: their future matrimonial bliss hangs by the thread of a DNA test. If Mr. Mitchell isn't the dad, well, the wedding's canceled, and it's going to be more awkward than a family reunion after a game of Monopoly. Mr. Mitchell, on the other hand, is riddled with doubts and backed by his cousin, who's pretty sure this is a plot twist from a daytime soap opera. Grab your popcorn. You're not going to want to miss what comes next.
Ms. Lohman, you are in court today hoping and praying your fiancé, Mr. Mitchell, is the biological father of your daughter, London, and you and your mother are here to prove it. You say today's DNA results will determine the future of your together. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mitchell, you say nothing would make you happier than finding out you are London's biological father. But you are in court today believing there is no way you are.
The saga thickens, and I'm not just talking about the plot, background of the relationship. Ms. Lohman gives us the lowdown on their love story, starting from innocent high school friendships to it's complicated. She spills the tea on how they went from passing notes to passing the remote, especially after Mr. Mitchell moved in to dodge the drama at his own home. And just when you think it's going to be a smooth ride into sunset and happy endings, the story veers off into another soap opera episode.
When me and Jonathan got together, I was very happy. We got engaged January of last year, and if London is not to become Mr. Mitchell, then our wedding is going to be off, and that's going to, it's really going to upset me.
All right, and how is it affecting your relationship now?
Me and Mr. Mitchell, we fight all the time about, me telling Mr. Mitchell that London is his, and
Turn up the heat because things are getting spicy. The relationship turns romantic. Picture this: Mr. Mitchell and Ms. Lohman living under one roof, sparks flying amidst family dinners and laundry days, despite Ms. Lohman juggling another beau on the side. It's like a rom-com, but with more complications and less Hugh Grant charm. The next twist, it's just around the corner, and it's juicier than you think.
Were you single at that time?
No, Your Honor, I had a boyfriend at the time.
Moves in, and then what happened?
After about 2 months of him living with me and my family, we were sitting on the couch one day just talking, and he kissed me. And I told him, I have a boyfriend, we can't do this. And he just kind of shrugged it off and said, okay.
So at that point, Mr. Mitchell was just your friend?
Yes, Your Honor. About a week after that, we were in the pool, and we were swimming under the water, and he kissed me under the water, and I came up, and I didn't stop it.
The paternity doubt. In a plot twist worthy of a telenovela, Ms. Lohman reveals there's another potential daddy in the mix right around the time little London decided to make her grand entrance. With no protection in play, the plot doesn't just thicken, it practically solidifies. But wait, there's more drama on the horizon, and it's about to get as tangled as headphones in your pocket.
So tell me about what you came to love about Miss Lohman.
I loved how she did stuff. I liked how she cared for me whenever didn't have anybody that cared for me.
And she said you had a very tough childhood. Is that true, honey?
Yes, ma'am. I was abused. Had to do everything for my family. I raised my 3 sisters and my brother basically by myself.
Seriously, did anyone see this plot twist coming? Physical resemblance and doubts. Ms. Lohman plays detective, pointing out all the ways London is basically a mini Mr. Mitchell, from her eye color to her eyelashes. But then she throws in a curveball about timing with her ex, making this paternity puzzle more confusing than a Rubik's Cube. Buckle up. This roller coaster of emotions has a few more loops to go.
Everything pointed to Mr. Mitchell.
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you tell him?
We were sitting at home, and I told him, I was like, there is a possibility that London could be yours, and because I looked at the dates. And then after she was born, I was like, Mr. Mitchell, she looks just like you. I was like, she has your eyes, the same exact eye color.
But just because she has blue eyes and blonde hair doesn't mean she's fine.
Yes, but my ex had light blue eyes. Jonathan has dark blue eyes. London has dark blue eyes.
And so all through this pregnancy, who's helping you?
Mr. Mitchell is.
Talk about an emotional whirlwind. Bonding with London. Despite the swirling vortex of paternity doubts, Mr. Mitchell steps up like a champ, forming an unbreakable bond with London. It's like watching a feel-good movie, where you're rooting for the underdog, tissues in hand, for happy and sad tears alike. But keep those tissues handy. The drama's about to dial up to 11.
Yes, Your Honor.
How so? Explain to the court.
I love her to death. She's amazing.
She's amazing, you said.
Yes, Your Honor.
He has been there from day one. He takes care of her. He watches her. He has become so attached to this baby. But the doubts are there, and it is better for him to know now. It's better for everybody, especially London, to know now if he is in fact for certain her father.
Twist, turns, and a side of manipulation. Concerns of manipulation. Enter Mr. Mitchell's cousin, the voice of reason, or perhaps the chorus in this Greek tragedy, hinting that Ms. Lohman might be playing 4D chess with everyone's hearts. It's a moment that adds a sprinkle of suspicion to this already spicy story stew. And just when you think you've seen it all, the next revelation is about to leave you absolutely gobsmacked.
He's being taken advantage of.
I believe that she knows that Jonathan is going to do what is right. He loves the baby, and he is going to step up up and be the father that she needs. And I feel like because she knows that is why we are in the situation.
Ms. Lohman has chosen Mr. Mitchell
Yes.
as the best of the two options.
Right.
And for the grand finale, the moment we've all been waiting for, DNA results and reactions.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Mitchell, you are not the father.
Miss Jackson, in all her fury and fabulousness, storms up to her husband's so-called mistress, Miss Lipscomb, armed with nothing but pure sass and a mission to debunk the outrageous claim that the 1-month-old fashionista, baby Corasia, shares DNA with her husband. Miss Jackson is all, if this baby is his, I'm out of here faster than you can say divorce. The audience loses their minds. Trust me, you'll be glued to your screen for what's coming up.
Here to confront your husband's mistress and to prove her 1-month-old daughter, Asia, is not his biological
Yes, Your
daughter.
Honor.
You learned today that the child is in fact your husband's. Your marriage is over.
That's right, Your Honor.
You'll be picking your jaw up off the floor. Just outside the courtroom drama, Mr. Jackson is sweating bullets, probably wishing he was on another planet. Miss Jackson spills the tea on catching her hubby red-handed and confronting the duo of deceit, Mr. Jackson and Miss Lipscomb. When Miss Lipscomb tries to claim her title as the girlfriend, Miss Jackson drops the wife bomb on her, leading to a dramatic reveal of pregnancy by Mr. Jackson. Grab your popcorn. The drama is just getting started.
How did you find out your husband may be having a child with his mistress?
I got an epiphany, call it woman's intuition, whatever you want. Well, I went to my husband's job. It was about 9:30 or 10:30 at night, and he approached the car. We talked for a few minutes, and to end our conversation, I told him, I feel as though
This roller coaster has more twists than your grandma's spaghetti. Cue the dramatic music as they delve into the saga of BM, baby mama versus wife. It's a wild ride through lies, deceit, and a lack of commitment from Mr. Jackson, who seems to have trouble understanding the concept of honesty and fidelity. Miss Jackson and Miss Lipscomb throw shade like it's sunny in the courtroom, turning the tension up to 11. Brace yourself. It's about to get even crazier.
Your Honor,
He was
she
labeled
didn't care
as
to know.
BM, my baby mother.
And he didn't have a ring on.
He had the ring, but the ring was never saying that this is my wife.
Why am I walking around with a ring on?
Previous
Thank
marriage
you.
on the ring finger?
All and get some.
I mean, that's to each his own.
Honor,
But
AKA she trifling, and that's what trifling females.
At that point, I feel like if this is your husband and this is so you say y'all working on your family, you trying to get it together, why is your husband in the room and not at home with you and your kid?
You're not ready for this bombshell. Just when you thought it couldn't get more tangled, Miss Jackson pulls a detective move and presents evidence that Miss Lipscomb might have been playing the field too, throwing the paternity of little Kiasia into a whirlwind of doubt. The courtroom turns into a datum drama fest as they sift through the potential daddy drama. Your guess is as good as mine on who the father could be. The next piece of evidence will have you screaming at your screen.
Did the affair end? And he went to jail?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have not been intimate with him since?
Yes, ma'am, I have. I'm not even gonna lie.
Mr. Jackson, what happened when you found out your mistress was pregnant?
I found out when I was in jail because I guess the beginning of the year, her birthday time, she got sick and went to the hospital.
Strap in for a wild ride. In a twist no one saw coming, Mr. Jackson admits he signed the birth certificate, throwing everyone for a loop. Despite this, he's been about as supportive as a chocolate teapot, not providing a dime for Kiasia. The debate heats up between Miss Lipscomb and Miss Jackson over motives and morality in the messiest custody battle ever. You'll need to see it to believe it.
And did you sign the birth certificate?
Yes.
You did?
So if it's not his child, why would he sign the birth certificate? Even more to speak on her
So, Mr.
behalf.
Jackson, you've acknowledged paternity.
Yes.
Your Honor, that's why the baby was placed on my benefit.
This is
my
what she keeps saying, that the baby is placed on her benefits,
Your
but
Honor, I
her
also have
baby.
my benefits, Your Honor. I also have proof of that, Your Honor.
Let me see that paper.
He automatically claimed all legal and financial responsibilities to that child.
Just when you think you've seen every twist and turn, hold your breath for the paternity test reveal.
When it comes to 1-month-old Kiasia Jackson, Mr. Jackson, you are not the father.
Still over, Your Honor.
Now it's not even her husband's child. After all of this, do you know who her father is?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is he gonna wanna be a part of her life?
No, probably not.
Hold on to your seats, folks, because what you're about to hear is straight out of a daytime drama. But real life, Miss Hooker, with her mom in tow like a dynamic duo, steps into the spotlight with a bombshell. Mr. Abraham, the late son of the defendant, Ms. Baker, is claimed to be the daddy of Miss Hooker's adorable 10-month-old Kenia. They're not just here for the drama. They want recognition and a big ol' "we're sorry" for the public snub from Ms. Baker's fam. Buckle up, it's going to get wild.
Ms. Hooker, you are here with your mother because you say the defendant's son, Mr. Abraham, fathered your 10-month 3-month-old daughter, Kanaya. You say that Ms. Baker and her family public denial of this child has caused you pain, and you are here for an apology and to prove her son is the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
In what can only be described as a plot twist you never saw coming, Ms. Baker stands her ground, waving the flag for her dearly departed son, challenging the claim that he's the father of Miss Hooker's baby. She's throwing everything but the kitchen sink into proving her son had his doubts, turning this paternity puzzle into a full-blown saga. The air's getting thick with drama, and we're here for it.
Mr. Abraham, because tragically, he was killed 3 months after the birth of this child. You say that before his death, your son expressed great doubt that he was the father of Miss Hooker's baby, and you are here to put the lies to rest. Is that correct?
Yes.
How have you been affected by Miss Baker's doubts about Kanaya's paternity?
Just when you thought this couldn't get any juicier, Miss Hooker spills the tea on her and Mr. Abraham's love story turned roller coaster ride. From being BFFs to lovers, then kind of sort of co-parents without the labels, it's a tale that tugs at the heartstrings. Miss Hooker swears he was her one and only, but folks, the plot is about to thicken with a capital T.
But that's not the way
so
that you go about
Miss
doing
Hooker, let me ask you, what was your relationship with Keyshawn? Were you boyfriend and girlfriend?
First, we was best friends. 6th grade year, we was best friends, and then we started talking. Then we stopped talking, and just like we stopped talking. Then we started going together for a minute, and then like we just when I got pregnant, it was just like we always talked, but we just stopped. But we still talking though, but we just stopped going together. Like we weren't boyfriend or girlfriend.
But then you still talked.
Yeah.
Were you in love, or was
Yeah.
this was your first love?
Yeah.
The saga dives deeper into the heartache, revealing how this paternity face-off is tearing Miss Hooker and her crew apart. It's more than just drama. It's a full-on emotional earthquake, shaking foundations and leaving Miss Hooker to armor up against the world's chatter. The stage is set for more revelations, and trust me, you'll need tissues.
It's her family who makes my daughter feel some type of way. It's not Miss Baker. She was too fat to be his baby. She fat like them, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff. Never from Miss Baker. It's always her family who always have something to say about my daughter's feelings have been hurt. It's always talk about her like she this tramp, and I'm like, enough.
Here comes a heart-wrencher. Ms. Baker takes us down a melancholy path, recounting the sad demise of her son, Mr. Abraham, against the backdrop of this paternity quandary. It's a moment that puts the whole drama into perspective, painting a portrait of grief and unresolved questions. The drama's not over, though. There's more heart-tugging ahead.
I'm so very sorry.
He just told me to promise him that we was gonna get a test done because of what the other young man said, and you know.
What did the other young man say?
He told Keyshawn that when he wasn't around, he was supposedly sleeping with Tanaya.
Miss Hooker, I have to ask you, was there another guy?
No, 'cause that's why it's funny. Cause how can somebody tell me who I was sleeping with?
Just when the audience thought they'd caught their breath, Miss Hooker comes back swinging against those cheating rumors, with her mom by her side, dropping truth bombs about Mr. Abraham's waffling paternity beliefs. It's a defense that adds more spice to this already sizzling story. And guess what? The drama escalates from here.
When him and my daughter was arguing. Other than that, I have pictures with him laying on her stomach. He had doubts only when he was angry. And I cannot get mad at what he tell his mother or nothing like that. But when he came over there with us, he held the baby, kissed the baby, and loved the baby. He just needs to get the results for Miss Carolyn. It doesn't matter. It's all about her. And he did ask her to get the blood test. For it won't be no doubts on their end about my grandbaby, because it's sad now.
Hold the phone because the drama meter just broke. Kanaya's absence from her supposed dad's obituary throws gasoline on the already blazing fire between the families. Miss Hooker's feeling more sidelined than ever, but folks, brace yourselves. The juiciest twist is yet to unfold.
My mama has a relationship with them. I don't. It may or may not be his. I did not put the baby name in there. My mom has to read that obituary. She lost a child. Nobody else lost one. If this baby turned out to be his, that's a death all over again. Do I want my mama to look in there and look at a reminder of a baby that was supposed to be his? No, I do not. Think about my mama feelings. It don't have nothing to do with her.
Just when you think you've seen it all, the DNA results drop with a major scandal.
It has been determined by this court. The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Baker, Mr. Abraham, and Kenaya Abraham is 0%.
This is why right here.
Ms. Baker, are you all right? Do you need to sit down? Do you need to sit down, ma'am?